Welcome back to Good Morning Antigua Barbuda. It's 7:45 in the morning, 15 minutes away from 8 o'clock. Are you interested in getting a home, one that you can afford? One is that just so strong that it will last you for a lifetime. That's what you do when you invest in a home. Let's say a very special good morning to, of course, let me just switch this over here so I have this correctly. My namesake, David Kendrick. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, sir?
I'm well. Nice to meet you.
And you're chairman of the, it's a BAO panel?
BAO.
BAO panel.
BAO panel.
What's BAO?
BAO. It's a German name for building.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Now I got some clarity there. Chairman of the Building Panel System. And we say good morning to, and this is Mr., I'm looking for your name, Paul.
Yeah.
And your name, Kula?
Kula, yeah.
Kula. Are you from, where are you from?
I'm Indian.
You're Indian?
Indian English.
Okay, now I need to set a stage here because I remember reading something. This is a company that originated in India?
No.
No.
Where?
Spain.
It originated
Spain?
in Spain.
In
Yeah.
Spain.
We
But you
had
got-
our office in Spain, but our head office is in Gibraltar.
And we see Foreign Housing Development Company interest in Guyana.
Yes.
So you're also doing some work in Guyana?
We do work all over the world. We have a business in Asia, Bestway, which is one of the biggest landowners in Asia, and we do a lot of development there. The Middle East, we're doing projects with the Royal Omani Police, and Europe. We built a lot of houses in Europe, in Spain, and Africa, North Africa. So we're very international.
So you're in Antigua?
Yeah, we're in Antigua now.
Okay. So we focus on, there's a groundbreaking ceremony this afternoon.
Yes.
Could you just explain to our listeners and our viewers what is this groundbreaking ceremony is all about and how can they participate and get involved in this project?
Okay, the groundbreaking ceremony is all about us establishing a factory. The panels that we use, I own a fast build strong system which is thermally insulated, hurricane resistant to a large degree, and extremely strong. Yeah? And we have to manufacture the panels. I decided after negotiations with your government to put a factory here. And the groundbreaking ceremony is over at Crabs, is where our factory is going to be. That's going to be a 10,000 square meter facility which will produce the panels to produce the homes for, that we're building in Antigua. But also, I intend that that factory will be the hub for the rest of the Caribbean and South America. So the factory is very important to the process. If we can't make the panels, we can't build the houses. So my legacy to this country is to bring my system and to train the people in that system. People that are working in the factory, how to produce the panels, and then using local labor forces to actually builders and contractors, working with them, giving them the BAO accreditation to build the houses.
Okay, so the fact, in your role, sir?
My role is marketing and communications and ensuring that we sell the houses and getting the message across about educating the people about what this, because it's a new system, not to Antigua actually. There are hotels been built out of this system many years ago, but it's new to educate people to understand because it's not your typical block building system. It's made out of polystyrene panels, which are then have steel rigidity on either side and sprayed on either side with reinforced concrete, and that becomes a sealed unit then, so that that makes it hurricane resistant because there is no joins where it can blow this off and blow that off. But it's more robust than a traditional building, and it's got thermally insulative qualities which make it, in the heat, it's cooler. So at night you can switch off your AC and you'll still be cool in the morning. And we were recently in Oman where it was 48 degrees, and we just built a mock-up barrack for the police. And we walked in and everybody was going, why is it so cool in here? Because there's no AC. And it wasn't obviously 10 degrees, but it was about 8 or 10 degrees lower, and you noticed it as you walked in because of the insulative qualities of it. And obviously that works the other way in cold countries, it keeps your house warm.
Okay, so the idea is that you're going to be opening the factory today. The opening ceremony is today.
Yep.
You're going to be manufacturing those panels in Antigua Barbuda.
Yes.
Antigua Barbuda will be the hub, so you can just get those things closer to the other islands.
Correct.
Are you involved outside of Guyana? Are you involved in other Caribbean islands?
Yes, we are. We're doing a project to build several thousand houses in St. Lucia, and the panels, once we've got the factory here, the first panels are coming from Europe, from my factory in Spain, and then the panels for the rest of the houses will come from Antigua. They need about 7,000 houses over the next 3 to 4 years, and those panels will come from here. Yeah. So this will be the hub for that operation.
Now, since we're having the factory and it's being built, the panel will be built in Antigua, is that going to make it more economically convenient for the people of Antigua Barbuda to purchase the home?
Yes, it is. It's going to be, first of all, the nature of the way that we build the houses is very quick. I mean, we can build a house in 6 weeks, a lot faster than conventional systems. And there are two savings. There is the time saving in building, the direct cost and indirect cost. One leads to the other. And those savings are going to be passed on. So we're going to be able to produce quality homes at a very affordable prices. And when we say affordable, we mean affordable. And when I came to meet your government, there was a very strong message that came across to me, and that was there was a big need for housing here. And that's why I decided, first of all, I like the place very much. I like the people, and I've been very welcome here as a foreign investor. And I like the attitude of the government. And when I first met the housing minister, he said, we've got to get people in houses. There's a lot of people that don't have them. They're renting, they want to be part, they want to own something. So I said, okay, well, let's get into business, because I produce quality homes. Not just quality homes, I build communities. I build places where people want to live. So we've got various sites that we've identified, and those sites will be with green areas, with recreation, etc. Because housing is very important to people. If people are happy in their homes, they're happy in the work, and they're happy in society. And I think it has a knock-on effect. So hopefully this will be the catalyst of a lot of things that we're doing here, including making these things, when I talk about making the houses affordable, and more affordable than it's been before, we're looking at putting together affordable finance systems with the with the Mortgage Trust Company, capitalizing that, so we can offer mortgages at very good rates and ownership, getting people from rented into their own homes. They can start by owning a portion of that home and then building up accordingly, yeah? And we will finance that and offer great rates so they can get in, and that stimulates the market. If we can get people in the, away from the parents, into the houses, they have kids, they move on, that stimulates the market. That's not happening a lot in the Caribbean, and that's one of the things that I'm using my system to pioneer. And the system is a catalyst, as Paul said. The technology is good, it works, but it also has a lot of social implications in society.
Okay, now, Paul, as we speak about communities, have you picked a spot in Antigua Barbuda where you say, listen, we're going to build these homes, we're going to build a community and then invite buyers, or one have to purchase a home before you can get into that state?
No, what we're going to do, we've been given identified land sites by the government, which are Bowlands, Lightfoot, etc. And from there, we're going to build show homes. And those show homes will hopefully be there in occupation by the end of November. So people can come in and they can touch and they can feel and they can see, because we are building from apartments to townhouses to 2-bedroom unattached and 3-bedroom unattached houses. And we will build a range so people can go in and they can see what it's like and knock it and kick the tires and say, I like this, this is what I want to buy, and this is what I can afford. And like David says, the part ownership thing is going to be key to getting people on the ladder who ordinarily wouldn't be able to. When you say, how much rent are you paying now? And you take that rent and say, well, we can see what we can do to get you on the property ladder. So whether it's an apartment, whether it's a house, whether it's a house that's bigger than they need now, but they're going to have children. And, you know, so they can get 25% of it now, and as they grow, they can pay more or whatever.
As we speak of the panel system, what about the architectural design of these homes?
In what sense? Our architects
well, is it one design that you have?
No, we have many designs.
One will have, like you said, the show homes.
Yes.
And so you'll be able to choose what you want, or will you be able to design with the company I want to do something?
We have a selection of 4 designs which are currently with the Housing Ministry, and they're currently going through the approval process to say they like the look of them. They're just looking at the layouts and making sure that they meet everything that's needed. They are sympathetic to the Caribbean. They look Caribbean, nothing out of the ordinary. That is what we will be building on our developments. However, if people want to have a piece of land and they want their own design, they want to build their own house, then we can do that too. We can supply the panels from the factory, and one of our accredited contractors on the island will be able to build that house.
Ken Hurst, the reason for me coming here, or us coming here as a business, is Ken Hurst. Ken's been the catalyst for the introductions and everything. As you know, he's involved in the airport and he understands manufacturing. He's a polymer scientist by profession. So it was easy. We were pushing on an open door with Ken because he understood the virtues. So he will, of the system. So he will be running the factory. So our priority to start with is to get the homes up on the sites that we've been working with the government. And then, as Paul said, there are various designs. So we don't want to build blocks of houses that all look like prisoner cell block H. We want people to live in houses that look nice. Exactly. And then from that point, we will have accredited, trained installers, local builders that we will install that will have accreditation. People will be able to come to with their architect's plans to Ken's team and say, here, yeah, I've got a plot of land, I want a Bauhaus, can you make this? We'll panelize it, and our installers will erect the house. That will give a lot of control in the market, because we've heard a lot of bad stories about builders building half a house and finishing and not putting the roof on, and this leaking and that leaking. We will only use BAU accredited installers with this system. Nobody will be able to come to us and say, hey, can we buy this panel, can we buy that panel? So I have two motives here. One is to protect my brand, because I don't want somebody to put up a house that they're not accredited and it falls down. All of a sudden it will be BAU. Yeah? So I have to protect the brand. And the second thing is controlling the pricing. So it's a fully integrated process from start to finish.
As you spoke about the factory, when will a training session begin? And have you identified the local persons who will be part of that setup?
Ken, today's a very significant day in the history of the deal that we've concluded with the government. Obviously, it's the groundbreaking. I have ordered the machines. The machines that go in these factories, they're not something you can put in the trunk of the car. They're huge. I mean, they're half the size of this studio, and there are several of them. So they take some time to make. It's European parts assembled. I have them assembled in the Far East. They will then, we will build a building after we've done the groundbreaking. The panels will come from Europe. And then Ken unilaterally will start to recruit. He'll start to recruit the operatives for the machinery. Local contractors, and then the local contractors, the people, the installers, they will be recruited and they'll be trained.
And we have an idea that we would like for the local contractors to learn to use the building system whilst we're building the factory. So we will get them involved in building the factory so they get to practically use the building system.
So, as I understand now, you're not moving into an existing building.
No, we're building.
That factory, the groundbreaking ceremony takes place. How long will it take that building?
To build it, it'll probably take about 4 or 5 months to build it. Yeah. Because these, as I said, these machines are very specialist. Yeah? And you have to have a certain building to house these machines, certain ventilations, you have to have certain power is an issue. They suck a lot of power, so we've got to have generators as well as power from the grid. So we have a footprint of a factory that the same as we use around the world, so it's a replication. So we're building this with offices attached rather than moving into an existing building. So it's going to be a newly, yeah. And the other thing is that the site that we have at Crabs is situated on the water, and for export purposes, we'll be able to then load onto vessels that will take around to the other islands and to South America, etc. So that's why that's why Crabs was chosen. It was chosen strategically because it's on the water, because these panels will be loaded onto containers, and those containers will then be shipped to other Caribbean islands and South America.
Those show homes that you're going to build, the 2 bedrooms or 3 bedroom, what is the average price?
Well, at the moment they're going to start for the low end at about 85 EC, and they're going to go up to about 250, 300.
85,000
yeah.
EC dollars.
Yeah.
So you'll have home that one can move into for 85,000
yeah.
EC dollars.
Full up. The thing about the system, what I saw here, what I saw in the Caribbean, in St. Lucia and Guyana and other things, people start to build a house. They save up, they build a plot of land. They buy a plot of land, they then build a house, they leave the underbuild, they then fill the underbuild when they've got a bit more money, and then they rent it out. The idea of this system, and then you may build a beautiful house and somebody comes along next door and builds a terrible shack and got goats running around and chickens in and out the door. What we're doing is we're creating uniformity. Yeah? We're creating communities. We're creating houses that are of a particular type and style, and that's all that will be on these sites, on our building sites.
And the key key thing is here that we're putting in the infrastructure.
Yeah.
This is something that's not been done before. We're putting in the roads, we're putting in the drainage and the lights and everything, the electricity. That is key to everything. You cannot build a community or any